Hello students, today we will discuss about the next topic, that is the years of depression. The years between 1924 and 1928 saw some stability. Yet this stability was built on sand. Germany investments and industrial recovery were totally dependent on short-term loans from USA. This support was withdrawn when the Wall Street Exchange crashed in 1929. Now, fear of fall in prices, people made efforts to sell their shares. In one single day, 13 million shares were sold. This was the start of the Great Economic Depression. Now, the national income of USA fell by half. Factories were shut down, export fell, farmers were badly hit. The effects of this recession in the US economy were felt worldwide. The German economy was the worst hit by this economic crisis. By 1932, industrial production was reduced to 40% of the 1929 level. Workers, they lost their jobs. They were paid reduced wages. The number of unemployed touched 6 million. And on the streets of Germany, you could see men with placards around their necks saying willing to do any work. Unemployed youths played cards, or they simply sat at street corners, queued up at local employment exchange. Now, as the jobs disappeared, the youth took to criminal activities. The economic crisis created deep anxieties and fears in people. The middle classes saw their savings diminish when the currency lost its value. Small businessmen, the self-employed, and retailers suffered as their business got ruined. These sections of the societies were filled with the fear of prolinerization. Here, the word prolinerization means to become impoverished to the level of working classes. Now, an anxiety of being reduced to the ranks of the working class. They were unemployed. Only organized workers could manage to keep their heads above water. The large mass of peasants were affected by a sharp fall in agriculture prices, and women, unable to fill their children's stomach, were filled with the sense of deep despair. Now, children, politically too, Weimar Republic was fragile. The Weimar Constitution had some inherent defects. First was proportional representation. This made achieving majority by one party a near impossible task, leading to a rule of coalition. Another defect was Article 48, which gave the president the powers to impose emergency, suspend civil rights. People lost their confidence in the democratic parliamentary system, which seemed to offer no solution. Next topic is Hitler's rise to power. This crisis in the economy, polity, and society formed the background to Hitler's rise to power. He was born in 1889 in Austria. Hitler spent his youth in poverty. When the First World War broke out, he enrolled himself for the army, acted as a messenger, and earned medals for bravery. The German defeat horrified him, and the Treaty of Versailles made him furious. So, in the year 1919, he joined a small group called the German Workers' Party. He took over the charge and renamed it as the National Socialist German Workers' Party. And this party came to be known as Nazi Party. Hitler was a very powerful speaker. His passions and his words moved people. He promised to build a strong nation, undo the injustice of the Versailles Treaty, and he also promised employment for those looking for work and secure future for the youth. He promised to weed out all foreign influences. So, for this, Hitler planned to seize control of Bavaria in the year 1923. He marched to Berlin and captured part. He failed. He was arrested and was tried for treason. But later he was released. After he was released, he struggled for power. In 1928, the Nazi Party got no more than 2.6% votes in Riksdag, the German parliament. But by 1932, it had become the largest party with 37% votes. It was during the Great Depression that Nazism became a mass movement. Banks collapsed, business shut down, workers lost their jobs. In such a situation, Nazi propaganda gave hopes for a better future. Hitler now devised a new style of politics. Nazi propaganda and promise made by Hitler gave him chance to rise. He understood the significance of rituals. He held rallies, public meetings to demonstrate the support of Hitler and instill a sense of unity among the people. The red banners with swastika, the Nazi salute, and the ritualized rounds of applause after the speeches were all part of his power. Nazi propaganda skillfully projected Hitler as a Messiah, a savior, as someone who had arrived to deliver people from their distress.